Dave Bautista, kind of really came on. I mean, he was making his transition from being a professional wrestler, and he was a great professional wrestler, to actor in some smaller stuff. I mean, one of the first kind of bigger roles he got, I guess, was in Eli Roth and RZA's Man with the Iron Fists, which I thought I did a fine little job in that at. But he really got his big breakthrough when James Gunn cast him to be Drax the Destroyer. Now, he has gone on to build himself quite a little career, actually, since that time. But he's been most known as Drax the Destroyer. Now, of course, then there was the whole, nasty stuff that went on over at Disney when they fired James Gunn. And Dave Bautista, who was very tight with James Gunn, got very upset and started publicly blasting Disney and all that kind of stuff. And he's now done as Drax. He said, I'm done. But make no mistake, he ain't done playing superhero movies, as he was just talking in a recent interview that he is absolutely not done playing in superhero movies. This comes to us from Variety, where he said this. When I said that I was done, I was really just done with my journey as Drax, Bautista said. I still have a relationship with Marvel. I've seen Kevin Feige again and Louis D'Esposito as recently as 2 weeks ago. And they know that I would be up for a role. I love the universe, the superhero universe. I love it. I'm a fan. So Marvel or DC, if they call, I would answer the phone. And if the role makes sense, I'd be all over it. I would just like the opportunity to do a bigger role, a different role, he continued, maybe a deeper role. I'd love to have the opportunity to play like an ominous villain in a superhero universe. I'm not done with it, but my journey with Drax is over. All right. So I think, first of all, there's going to be some people, and I've heard some people kind of sour on what he said, saying like, why aren't you grateful for Drax? Like, why are you saying your journey as Drax is over? He's done it for years, playing Drax. He played Drax many, many times, and really there was nowhere left for the Drax character to go. So, I mean, if they were going to do another one and he was playing it, I'd be super thrilled, but I'm totally good with him saying, you know what? I've done my journey as Drax. I'm good. But this dude is built to be in superhero movies. And I'm just talking about his physical presence. I feel like he's built. And by the way, when he started acting, we started asking, but could he be the next Rock? Nah, he can be the next Rock, or all that kind of stuff. But listen, in just the last couple of years, since 2021, he has amassed an acting resume that a lot of seasoned Hollywood veterans would be envious of. He's quietly amassed quite a good line. Check this out. In 2021, he starred in Army of the Dead, which I thought was a fun little zombie film that he did with Zack Snyder. Pardon me. Then, of course, in 2021, he did the first Dune movie. It wasn't a big role. It was small, but still he appeared in Thor: Love and Thunder. Then he did one of the best films of 2022 in Glass Onion, and I thought he was wonderful in it. Then I didn't love 2023's Knock at the Cabin, but he was quite good in it. Then, of course, he did a big smash $800 million plus hit with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in his last outing as Drax. And then, of course, this week, he appears again in maybe the best movie of the last 5 years, Dune Part 2. Now, I am not saying that Dave Bautista is Robert De Niro, okay? But I'm just saying, ever since James Gunn really kind of discovered him and put him on the big stage, and working with a director like James Gunn, when Dave Bautista himself would tell you, I'm not the strongest actor in the world. I'm just really grateful to be here, which is one of the reasons I respect him so much. But working with a director like James Gunn, who brought him onto the big stage, never put him in a position that would expose his weaknesses as a thespian, but highlighted his strengths, and then being totally committed to trying to get better and better and better as an actor. Again, do I think he's Robert De Niro? No. But as he turned himself from a gimmick former wrestler in something like Man with the Iron Fists into a performer that you as a producer could legitimately pick up and put in one of your movies, he absolutely has. And apparently people like working with him. Now, we won't talk about Stuber or Who's the Girl I'm Babysitting or whatever that little movie he did was. Those were awful. And by the way, Stuber kind of proved he wasn't quite ready yet at that time to be a leading guy, but he has done nothing but work, try to improve himself and improve. And he's made himself a legitimate, forget the former wrestler part now. He's a legitimate actor in this business. And I'm super happy for him about this. And I would love to see it. Now, Chris, obviously, I think the odds are, since he's been Drax for so long, in the MCU for so long, he clearly loves working with James Gunn. He clearly wants to be in James Gunn's DC universe.
Yeah.
He was saying he wanted to be Bane, which I think James shot that down, but James loves Dave at the same time. I would put my money on seeing that we'll see him in the DC universe at some point. Anyway, what do you make about his comments, and where could you see him ending up at some point?
First of all, I think it's also a wrestler kind of rite of passage that you have to do some kind of babysitter movie.
Yeah.
You just have to.
Everyone's got their
'Cause
Tooth
everyone's
Fairy,
done it. Tooth Fairy,
Suburban Commando,
My Spy, the game plan, those kind of
the
things. You
game
just have to
plan.
do one of those.
Game
Isn't that Hulk
plan.
Hogan's Suburban Commando?
Yeah,
That's
you
a great
got to do it. And
observation.
he was also didn't he do a Mr. Nanny or something like that?
Oh,
one?
Hulk
yeah.
Hogan?
Yeah, you
I think he did.
Was that a Hogan one?
Where he was like in, I swore he was like in a ballerina costume. In one
There's
of
a
those scenes.
bunch
Well, are
of
you thinking of the Rock and the Tooth
That
Fairy?
was, yeah.
No,
that was
no. I think
That's-
Hogan was in some sort of.
Oh yeah, because he
getup
was
like-
babysitting.
Put a
that's
wrestler
right.
in a tutu. I mean,
But
that's
that might have
just
been
classic comedy.
It's a
Commando.
wrestler's right.
Yeah.
That
You
might have
just-
been, yeah, it
You
was
have
Suburban
to do
Commando.
that.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to do that. I'm really glad he put this statement out there, because I remember when he was talking about how he was done with Drax, and it kind of became this, he's not going to do superhero movies anymore. This is also where the internet really lacks nuance, and it's a bummer. It's that, so you're saying you'll never show up in a comic book property? No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying that the journey with this character is done for right now. I also don't see how people have thought that he's been ungrateful with this. He's talked about how much he loves this role, but he wants to make sure that he's telling stories that make sense for the character and not bleed it dry, you know? And also the Guardians are reinventing themselves and having a new team up, which is what the comics do all the time. We knew he was going to work with James again. We just knew that. And James Gunn loves working with his buddies over and over and over again. So it's only a matter of time until we see Bautista in the DC universe. And I love that he still is open to Marvel too. It is one of those things also as an actor of, oh yeah, if Marvel calls, any of us would pick up the phone.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
Glenn Close is in a Marvel movie. Yeah. This is Marvel movie because, actors also need money so that they can keep doing independent artsy films and stuff
I mean,
like
if
that.
they called for you, I'd still be like, "Hi, I'm available too."
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, "No, but we want Chris." I'm like, "But I'm on the phone."
But also,
so.
yeah. But do you know my friend Jonathan? We should all be in this movie. It makes sense. I love that he's going to do this. And he really has built up a fabulous resume in the past few years. And he's taken his craft seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really talked about how he's wanted to get better, how he's constantly taking acting classes and training. And I think also in a world where we have so many quick little actor sound bites that are a little kind of pithy, of I just memorize my lines in the acting chair or in the makeup chair. I kind of keep it loosey-goosey. I really don't do much prep. Whatever your journey is as an actor, that's fine. But it's always refreshing when you see somebody who says, no, I have to work so hard to be good at this, and I want to earn this. And I think it's something really lovely to see and aspire to. And I can't wait to see more of him in comic book movies. He fits the brief so well.
Yeah, I agree. Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, The Perfect Jean. Guys, are you tired of the rough and rigid jeans crushing your boys? Well, today's sponsor, The Perfect Jean, finally solved all of your denim difficulties. They make great looking, perfect fitting jeans that are as comfortable as sweatpants. The secret? A special denim fabric that is super soft and has the perfect amount of stretch so you can squat, do yoga, or just sit around all day without ever having to take them off. I'm going to admit I was a little bit skeptical because to me, jeans have always been jeans. They're practical, but not always the most comfortable. But I'm telling you guys, it's not an exaggeration. Once I put on these jeans, the Perfect Jean redefined what jeans can be to me. They're the perfect fit, they stretch, they breathe, and again, they're just insanely comfortable. So guys, it's finally time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans by going to theperfectjean.nyc/Campea15. Our listeners get 15% off your first order plus free shipping, free returns and free exchanges when you use code Campea15 at checkout. Again, that's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc/Campea15 and use the code Campea15. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support the John Campea Show and tell them we sent you. All right, guys, question is for you. What do you think about Dave Bautista's comments? I would love to see him pop up. And I mean, again, I don't think he's going to end up being, Bane in the DC universe, but I would love to see whatever James Gunn would put him in there. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.